Hello and welcome to Graphic Online News in Brief. In the headlines, President Akufo-Addo visits Guinea to confer with military junta. 18 containers of impounded rosewood to help build National Cathedral. Police hands for a suspected kidnapper of a 28-year-old pregnant woman. And commercial sex workers in the Bono region beat young man in his early 30s to death. News in Brief is brought to you by Graphic News Plus.
Download your Graphic News Plus now and choose your preferred package daily, weekly, monthly, and annually, and access free news on various interest areas as well. Graphic News Plus, connecting people through news.
And now the news in brief. President Akufo-Addo, in his capacity as the chairman of ECOWAS, is in Guinea to meet with military leaders a day after the regional bloc imposed travel and financial sanctions on the junta and their families. He arrived in Guinea's capital, Conakry, together with the president of Cote d'Ivoire, Alassane Ouattara, on Friday, September 17.
The visit is a follow-up on the recommendations made at the extraordinary meeting of the ECOWAS Heads of State and Government in Accra on Thursday, September 16, to firm up a decision on the political situation in Guinea. The discussions with the junta will largely center on the fate of President Alpha Condé. The ECOWAS leaders, in a post-summit communique, ordered a swift return to constitutional order, asking the military rulers to fix presidential and legislative elections within 6 months. President Akufo-Addo will also visit Mali to convey in person the decisions of the authority.
Over 18 containers of rosewood impounded this year have been handed over to the Board of Trustees of the National Cathedral. The presentation is in fulfillment of a promise by the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Samuel Abu-Jinapor, to donate all confiscated rosewood to support the construction of the cathedral.
Mr. Jinapor handed over the rosewoods to the President of the Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council, Reverend Professor Paul Frimpong Manso, and the Executive Director of the Salt and Light Ministries, Reverend Dr. Joyce Ayi. The two are members of the National Cathedral Board of Trustees. The presentation was done at a brief ceremony held at the Achimota Depot of the Forestry Commission in Accra on Friday, September 17. Mr. Jinapor vowed that government will go all out to clamp down on the cartel behind the illegal trade in rosewood.
You will recall that some time ago, I think about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I did indicate the decision of government to donate and present all confiscated rosewood towards the construction of the National Cathedral until such time that the National Cathedral will have no use for rosewood before we then take a decision to auction them domestically. We are here this morning to symbolically hand over the already confiscated rosewood to the representatives of the Board of Trustees of the National Cathedral. We're going to go on and make sure that the cartel and the syndicate behind the harvesting and exploitation of rosewood is actually dealt with so that we can preserve the forest cover of our country.
Reverend Frimpong Manson thanked the Lands Minister for the gesture and said the donation is a major boost to the timely completion of the project, expected to be dedicated on March 6, 2024.
We are happy that a burden has been taken away, but we are also pleading with Ghanaians to be mindful of the environment. Recently, I think last April or so, we spent a whole day telling people to plant trees. And I think as I'm here, I'll still talk about the tree planting exercise. Let us preserve our environment.
The police are on a hunt for a suspected kidnapper of a 28-year-old pregnant woman in Takoradi in the Western region. The kidnapper is reportedly demanding a ransom from the mother of the victim.
Josephine Penny Mensah reportedly went missing after going for a routine dawn walk on Thursday, September 16, 2021. Her husband, Paul Simon, who reported the incident to the police, says his wife left home Thursday morning around 5 a.m. for a routine dawn walk and has since not returned. He says his mother-in-law later received a phone call from the suspected kidnapper demanding a ransom. The police say they have started investigations into the circumstances.
In a final story, suspected commercial sex workers have allegedly beaten a man believed to be in his early 30s to death at Newtown, a suburb of Sunyani in the Bono region. The young man is said to have met his untimely death after he allegedly refused to pay one of the sex workers for her services.
Graphic Online gathers that the incident occurred on Thursday, September 16, at about 5 a.m. Unconfirmed reports suggest that the man's refusal to pay angered the sex worker, who raised the alarm to attract her colleagues to the scene. The victim is said to have been beaten and stabbed, leading to his death. One of the sex workers and the landlord have been arrested to assist police investigations. The body of the deceased has been deposited at the Sunyani Regional Hospital mortuary pending identification and autopsy.
Thank you for watching. We will see you again with another edition. Stay safe and protect yourself from COVID-19. For more news, visit graphic.com.gh or log on to Facebook at Daily Graphic and on YouTube at Graphic GH. I am Juliet Echa Safo.
Subscribe now.